Welcome to another Greensboro.com high school football video. I'm Joe Serrera, and we're joined once again this week by Grimsley Early's head coach, Darryl Brown. Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you having me on.
You're in a state championship game Friday night at Carter Finley at Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill against Cardinal Gibbons from Raleigh. First time for Grimsley since 2005. You guys had a great comeback win over Matthews Butler on Friday night. What were the keys to that 28-21 win for your team?
Probably the first thing was just the composure our guys had throughout the entire night. We never panicked, and our kids really believed in each other, and they believed in us as a team, and that we was going to be able to get the job done. We got down early, but again, our guys never panicked. Continued to play hard, continued to play tough, made some big time plays when we had to make them. Defensively, we were great all night. The first couple of touchdowns were really good plays by them, and we had a couple of guys that kind of got lost in coverage a little bit. But I thought we played as well defensively as we played all year against a really good football team. But I think the biggest thing was just the fact how our guys continue to play hard and tough and never panicked at any point in time.
Mm-hmm. What's this week of preparation going to be like for you guys? You're maybe a little fortunate in a way in that some of the teams that are playing Thursday, it's a short week for them. Some of the teams that are playing Saturday, it's kind of a little longer. How do you stay engaged for that long? But you're on your regular schedule. You got a Friday night game. It's just one more Friday night in that respect, but it's a state championship game all the same.
Yeah, I think we're fortunate really to have the Friday night game. I think that kind of works well. You don't have to change your routine at all, and so we kind of keep things as normal this week moving forward. Obviously it's a huge game. It's a bigger game, and you're playing for a state championship, so we're excited about that. But we'll go about the week as normal as we can, keep things, our routine, our schedule pretty much the same, and I think we'll be ready to go come Friday.
Is it easier to maybe tune out some of the distractions and the hoopla and everything that you'd have in a typical year where you're not going to have a pep rally because of the COVID pandemic and things like that, where it's maybe just a little more of a routine week?
Yeah, I mean, our guys do a good job, I think, of really just kind of focusing on the task at hand. And, I've been really pleased with our senior leadership and how they've, not let things kind of get too big or there hadn't been a routine all year. We hadn't had a normal routine at any point in time this year, from kids being remote learners to half of them being here at school, half of them not. So it's been a constant adjustment every week as how you're going to kind of handle different things. We're out of school this day. We're back in school this day. So I think our guys have really handled all those distractions along the way really well. And, so this week going into this game, when you have some other things that may come up, I think our guys are prepared to be able to handle those things the right way and staying in the right frame of mind. So, the school's got a couple of things planned Thursday evening and stuff to kind of let the guys know they're behind them and kind of give them a little send off. But yeah, I mean, our guys will be locked in already.
Mm-hmm. Does it mean more with all the challenges, all the distractions and things this year? Does it mean more to get to a state championship game this year with all they've had to overcome?
I don't know if it means more, because anytime, any year, a team accomplishes, winning a regional championship and getting to a state championship, that's a great feat. It's always going to mean a lot. Mm-hmm. But I did tell our football team back in December when we got to start workouts with the conditioning workouts that the county allowed us to do, that I felt like this year would be something special, because whoever is left at the end through everything we've had to go through, I just kind of feel like, it's going to be something that will be talked about forever and never forgotten, because hopefully we never play spring football again. Hopefully this is a one-time thing. I told our guys this is something that will be remembered for forever, because for the next 100 years, this may be the only time where there's a spring football champion. And I do think it's special in that regards, but to say that it's more special, I wouldn't say that, because that kind of takes away from other teams or other times. So any year that you get to this point in the season is special.
You're playing a Cardinal Gibbons team that was in the state championship game last year. They lost 24-21 to the East Forsyth team that beat you guys 21-20. Do you think having been in the state championship game last year gives them a little bit of an advantage in terms of experience?
That's hard for me to say. That'd probably be something that they could answer better than me. I know they got different players and they graduated guys and things like that. They're a heck of a football team. The fact that they are there 2 years in a row says a lot about their program and the consistency that they've had over the last few years. It definitely doesn't hurt the fact that they played there last year and going into that and kind of understanding what to expect. And when they get there Friday night, and things that will be a little bit new for us. But, every year is a different year, no matter what. New players, new positions, probably additions to coaching staff and things like that. So, I don't know how much of an advantage they get, but again, it should be a good game, and we're excited again for the opportunity to go there and compete against them.
What do you see when you look at them on film? I mean, looking at their numbers, they've only given up 14. The most points they've given up in a game this year is 14. And your team, other than last week against Butler, hadn't given up more than 14. Seems like this might be a defensive game.
Well, they're really good on the defensive side of the ball. I think their defensive line play is very solid. They're technicians. You don't see them make – the one thing I was telling a couple of guys earlier today, and we were talking about, as a team, you don't see them make mistakes. They're very solid. They don't do anything to hurt themselves. You see very few penalties when you watch film and you break down film on them. And they just seem to do all the little things it takes to be successful. But they are good on the defensive side of the ball. They fly around. Their defensive line, like I said, is very solid. Linebackers get after you. They got some good athletes in the secondary. On the offensive side of the ball, they got a huge 6'6", 215-pound sophomore quarterback, left-handed kid. That's going to be really special, as he continues to grow and mature. The number 2, their slot receiver that they line up at running back and use him at wildcat quarterback, is an exceptional player, as good as we've seen this year. Really good football player, tough kid, makes plays, consistently makes hard plays you see on film. And I think their offensive line's a really good unit. I don't know how many of those guys have played together the previous years, but they work really well together. They're very good at what they do and understanding their scheme. So they pose a lot of issues for sure.
What do you guys need to do Friday night to come back from Chapel Hill with Grimsley's first state title since 1960?
Yeah, it's going to sound like I'm repeating myself, but
no, there's nothing wrong with that. It's working.
Same kind of thing. I mean, our defense is going to have to be big again, and we knew that back in December when we talked. That we'd ride those guys a lot, and they're going to have a big game, and we're going to have to make sure that we're aware. I mentioned number 2, where he's at all times, because he's a guy that can hurt you at any point in time during the game. Hopefully create some turnovers, games where we create turnovers, especially if we can get 2+ turnovers, really sway things for us. Offensively, our guys just continue to have to make hard plays. Our receivers will be challenged. That's a special group for us, but they're going to have to make hard plays on the perimeter. We were talking about Alonzo, earlier, and he's going to have a big game, which he will. And, he'll be able to manage things, staying poised. I'm not getting rattled, which, like I said, he doesn't. But, not turning the football over on that side of the ball would be big. Trying to keep our offense on the field as much as we can. And, again, like I mentioned every week, I just feel like special teams are huge. You can't have mistakes in a special team game. We got to make sure that we kind of flip field position if we can and take advantage of those things.
Sounds good. We wish you luck on Friday night. We will be there, the Greensboro News and Record, to cover it. And good luck to the Whirlies.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate everything this season.